feel like I've been putting this off forever, but it's finally time for the 2021 setup tour that I've been working on. Basically, I felt that my previous setup was a little bit too small, so I went a little bit overboard and basically tripled the table size I have to work with. And considering the really good reception of my old video, I think people might actually enjoy this one. So I now have a 2-table design for my setup, as before I had only one little sort of table. And everything is from IKEA, so you can probably find this stuff on the front page of everything, but if you do need me to point certain things out, just ask. One thing I'm excited about is this little sort of makerspace I have at the left corner with a 3D printer. I didn't have a space for this before, and I'm really glad it's there now, so my design work isn't hindered a bunch. And next to that, I have this cool Xiaomi smart lamp, which I really like because design is really simplistic. But you can also change the temperature of the light, and that can really change the entire atmosphere of the room, especially if you're doing notes for school and things like that, or just drawing or just chilling. Next to that, I have my iPad Air 4, which is really useful for note-taking and just for school and general drawing and stuff. And one addition is next to that with an Amazon Echo 10, but honestly it hasn't been that useful. I primarily use that for setting alarms, but I think it kinda can be useful for asking random questions, but I honestly wouldn't see the purpose of buying one unless you just got one for free. Obviously you gotta have some kind of Lego thing on the table as a prop, and next to that is a charging pad, and then to the left of that is my Surface Duo. Now that video that I made about that was fairly popular, but also really had a mixed reception because some people got really upset about me having a more negative sort of view about this. And while I have grown up to enjoy it, I kind of understand why people got mad, but also at the same time it still is very problematic of a device, and hopefully Surface Duo 2 is a lot better. And if you don't know what it is, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a phone with 2 screens, and you can just have 2 apps open at the same time, or just one app open at one time, and it's pretty cool. For my main setup, I have the same PC as before with an RTX 2060, i7-8700, and 32GB of RAM. And it has a lot of custom cables and skins and stuff like that to make it look extra nice, because the last thing I want is some kind of an eyesore of a PC that doesn't really fit with the room. So I really want my PC, especially if it's going to be a really big thing, to sort of actually fit with everything instead of just looking like an incredibly painful black box in the middle of everything. For my displays, I am using older displays. There's 27-inch Acer, which is TN panel and 144 Hz. And then I have next to that a vertical display, which is just a 24-inch Dell display. Both of them are about 5 years old at this point, but they're working really well, so I don't really see a reason to get rid of anything. I also have a third display, which is the Webcam 13 pen display, which is mainly for drawing, but you can also use it as a second monitor or a third monitor in my case, and it works pretty well. I also have a really old webcam and really cheap webcam at the same time. It's really grainy, and I have used it in some videos in some forum, and it has worked okay, but it is really bad. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend it unless you were just really cheap like me and just wanted to get like a $15 one. For my mouse, I use the Razer Basilisk Ultimate paired with the N Pro 2 keyboard with penguin theme keycaps. I also have a video on that one if anyone is interested. And for my headphones, I'm using the Sennheiser HT6XX plugged into the FiO 810K amp DAC combo. And for my mic, I use the Blue Snowball, which you can see and hear me using in most of the things that I do. One major improvement from my last setup is definitely the cable management. The last one was so horrid that I didn't even show it in the video. And while this one isn't perfect either, I feel like it's a lot cleaner. And if you look at it from the top, you can barely see any cables. And as for random things, I also have a POV mini projector that I use sometimes and plug in to watch movies, but that's sort of a side thing that I don't necessarily recommend because the brightness isn't very good on it, and you kind of need to be in pitch black for it to work at all. And that was kind of it. This was a super quick look, and if you have any questions, please let me know, because the reason why I made this really short is that I can see from my watch analytics that people don't like to stay for like 6 or 10 minutes of just watching a person ramble about their rooms, so I tried to make this as quick as possible without having to worry about people forwarding and skipping and around the video constantly and just being annoyed at me, because I don't want people to look at my videos and be like, oh, this is annoying. So thank you.